In case I haven't mentioned it before in my previous videos, I don't know if I have or haven't, but I live in Houston, Texas. Yes, the good old state of Texas. Okay. And I just found out about this SB 4, which is Senate Bill 4. It's called the Sanctuary Cities Bill. And I'm not making this video in defense of, you know, Mexicans, Hispanic people, Latino people, Spanish speaking people. I'm not making this video in defense of them. I'm making this video for the simple fact that you have so many white people here who are illegal immigrants. It seems to me that with each passing president, their biggest issue is Mexicans coming across the border. When you have people from all over the fucking world coming here and staying here, all these Asians who come here and own these nail salons, these gas stations, these beauty supply stores, you can't tell me that all of them are here legally. You can't tell me that. When I used to work at Macy's, we got so many white people from Europe, from Australia, from different parts of the world who lived here, but were here illegally. And they would tell me this. So why is it the biggest issue is Mexicans? That's what I want to know. Because I'm pretty sure they're not the largest amount of immigrants here. They're just only the ones who are the face of illegal immigrants. You have Asians, you have white people, you have Africans, you have all sorts of people who come here illegally, but they're the only ones who are singled out. Why? Why? What problems are they creating? We have enough shit to worry about than, some Mexican illegal immigrants. We have enough shit to deal with. So, I'm only talking about this story because I live in Texas. That's the only reason. It says a big concern of Senate Bill 4, the so-called Sanctuary Cities Bill, is that it might create fear between undocumented immigrants and law enforcement, and that fear could keep victims and witnesses of crimes from reporting it to police. Virginia Badillo is originally from Mexico, has been living in the United States for 12 years, runs her own cleaning business, and is undocumented. She said her community feels attacked after the passage of SB 4 into law. Not having documents for them is a risk of deportation, said Badillo in her translation from her native Spanish, and a risk to separate their family. I know a lot of kids who have immigrant parents who are here illegally. The kids were born here, yet their parents get deported. I think at one time, and I know this is only for Texas, the only thing that can keep someone from getting deported is if they have children who were born here. That is the only way they can stay here. But oftentimes they'll still send them back and put the child in the system. That's worked. What liberty does someone feel who is a victim of abuse to call police to tell them someone is being aggressive towards me, I'm suffering, I'm a victim of crime? And that can be a hard issue for people and this is like really targeting Mexicans, but for them, if they're, say for instance, they're in trouble and they need to call the police. Okay, the first thing the officer is going to want to know is, first of all, this person does not speak great English. Okay, so are they undocumented? Are they here illegally? That's the first thing that's going to come to these officers' mind. If y'all don't live in Texas, we have some racist ass police officers. And this bill is going to allow them to pull over someone or stop someone who looks Mexican and ask for their papers and to see if they're here legally. Why are you not asking all these other people who are here illegally for their papers? It seems like that they have always been the targeted ones when you have white people were the initial illegal immigrants and still are. They still are illegal immigrants. Now, black people, on the other hand, we are not illegal immigrants. We were brought here. We were forced to come here. We are not illegal immigrants. I feel like any black person that comes here is not an illegal immigrant. We have a right to be here. We have every single right to be here. So I'm just confused. So it says, SAFE, the organization in Austin that serves sexual assault and domestic violence victims, reports a decrease of those willing to report sexual assaults to law enforcement, basically for fear that they're going to get deported. On average, SAFE provides 60 exams a month. In February 2016, there were 3 non reports. In February 2017, 8 non reports. 57% of their clients are Hispanic. SAFE said it does not ask for documentation status when someone contacts them. If everyone is concerned about safety, then this SB4 puts an additional wall or barrier to safety. It's not just domestic violence, it's also, we're seeing it with sexual assault. What it says is that it's open season on undocumented immigrants. And that's basically what it is. And I think that because this is in Texas and we have a lot of Mexicans here because we're here by the border, I feel that's why they put this in place. However, I still think it's a stupid thing to do because Texas has the most, I want to say, people from different countries. Like, for example, UT and the University of Houston are the most, are the top universities for international students. So we have a lot of international people here, but yet their only focus is Mexicans. I guess because they're the closest. They can just drive them across the border instead of putting them on a plane, which I guess would cost more money to fly them back to their country. It still doesn't make sense to me. In regards to SB4 being signed into law, the Austin Police Department's interim chief Brian Manley released a statement saying, in part, legal advisors are reviewing the approved language of SB4. We will have a better understanding of the impact to our operations and any necessary changes to policy or procedure once this review has been completed. With the passage of this law, we want our minority community to maintain their trust in us. How? How can they trust you when if they call upon you to help them, you're going to ask for documentation to see if they're here legally? How are they supposed to trust you? Come on now. And again, with the passage of this law, we want our minority community to maintain their trust in us. If you see or are a victim of a criminal act, we want you to call us and report it. Why? So you can deport them? Undocumented immigrants such as Badillo said they urged their friends and community members to not be afraid. Participate, become part of an organization, become part of the fight. The fear isn't going to bring us to anything. It's not going to take us to any success. Hiding isn't going to make anyone listen to us. Okay, here's the problem. Let me tell y'all a story. Just a quick story. I used to be a college and career counselor, and I worked at a high school here in Houston that was majority Hispanic. Now, my job was to help these kids get into college. That meant applying for college applications, writing essays, preparing for the SAT, ACT, and also FAFSA. Now, I had a lot of students, as a freshman going into college, your parents have to fill out the FAFSA. I had a lot of students whose parents would not fill out the FAFSA because they owed taxes. Not because they owed taxes, but because they did not pay taxes. And with the FAFSA, they asked for your parents' tax information. Well, these kids, their parents were here illegally. Therefore, their parents could not fill out the FAFSA. And these kids could not get any financial aid because their parents were here illegally and undocumented. Now, I hear a lot that, people who are here undocumented and illegally is bad because basically our tax dollars are footing their bills. And I understand that. But my thing is, why are y'all just focusing on the Mexicans that are here when you have so many other immigrants here illegally? Y'all are accepting all these refugees from different countries because their countries are at war, but you have immigrants who are already here, who are closer, whose countries are not at war, but they want to come here to give their kids a better education. But they're your focus. They're your main focus. Like, how does that make any sense? And, Texas is ass backwards anyway when it comes to a lot of things. I'm not going to even, try to defend Texas in any kind of way. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I will talk to y'all next time.